G'day, how's it going? Welcome to the 65th edition of Cinema Effect. I'm Jaden, and today I'm joined by PTA's number one fanboy, aka Cinema Effect's most popular member on Letterboxd, Liam.
Hey, Jaden.
I was hoping for a bit more, but that's alright. I'm also not joined by our first actual special guest. I was going to introducing it as an up-and-coming amateur director with such credits as Chinese with Cena and The Unknown Flesh. It would have been Mr. Andy Newen, but unfortunately, Mr. Newen had to withdraw.
Yes, he had other responsibilities.
Now you see here I have in brackets banter if any, and
Banter, if any. Well, yeah. I'll give you some banter. We're completing the trilogy here because me and Zach had an episode together. You and Zach had an episode together. Now it's you and me. So every member of Cinema Effect has their own two-person. You know what I mean? Everyone has their own thing. Yeah.
I've missed 2 episodes, so it won't be complete until everyone's missed 2. So
all right, I'll have to miss one. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll have to take a week off. If you have any thoughts, comments, or reviews on what we're talking about, or anything just in general, make sure you write in our YouTube comment section, or write us into the Instagram, or message, email, business email. I'm pretty sure there's one of those in the Cinema Effect YouTube. But as usual, we have our question of the week, and this week we're asking, what movie have you rewatched the most? Could be kind of similar to questions we've asked in the past about favorites. I guess the answer could cross over a bit, but I think there might be a bit of a diverse range there.
Luca will have some weird answer like Monsters and Aliens, that movie?
Monsters vs. Aliens?
Monsters vs. Aliens, yeah.
Classics. Also, this week we have our viewer poll. This week, Liam and myself will be going after it, seeing as I dethroned Zach in the previous installation of this, and also Zach isn't here, so do you want to go first with your film, or do you want me to?
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
Mine is Silence, Scorsese's religious epic. Andrew Garfield and Adam Driver and Liam Neeson. Haven't seen that one, so
I shit you not. I was looking at that one too, as a possibility of putting it forward. I'm gonna go with it's been a while since we've done an Australian film on this podcast, so I'm gonna put forward one. It might probably lose due to popularity, but it's Cargo, 2018. Cargo. Stars Martin Freeman, and it's set in a zombie apocalypse.
Oh yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, so the poll will go up about a day after this episode goes live on Instagram. So make sure you go vote on that.
Yeah, thanks for all the votes. They're nice.
Yeah, how many votes do we average? Tell the audience.
I think 20 odd votes that aren't us for. I contribute some votes. I actually don't vote on the poll. I have 4 Instagram accounts, so I boost the votes straight away so that 2 votes on each side, so that the first person that votes doesn't get 100%. They're like, oh, I'm the only person voting. Make it feel like more people is doing it.
There's some insider information there. This week we're reviewing Woody Allen's Midnight in Paris, the sex pest himself. The film debuted in France on the 11th of May 2011 at one of the film festivals over there. The genre is a romantic comedy with a hint of fantasy, and the plot is as follows. While on a trip to Paris with his fiance's family, a nostalgic screenwriter finds himself mysteriously going back to the 1920s every day at midnight. Liam, what are your opening thoughts on Midnight in Paris?
Well, I've seen this film before. Liked it when I saw it, and I think it's really great. It's not really great. I think it's pretty good. It's very romantic, got that romantic jazzy feel. I mean, it is that, the scores are very obviously going for that, and it's very funny, very witty, kind of just, I don't know, pure dialogue in Woody Allen style. And yeah, I don't know, it's I think the message is maybe a bit too spelled out at points, but in terms of just going back to old Paris and the set design and kind of giving that feel of idealism and romanticism, it really succeeds. I think it's a really funny movie at times as well. So
yeah, I think I'm pretty on par. Actually, not on par. I agree with everything you said, but I think I'm a bit higher on that. Which
Okay.
You know, from the outset, from the opening shot, from the opening note, um, you know, like it just immediately enraptured me. That engagement that it captured, it never wore off. I agree with you about them spelling out the theme way too clearly, but it's not really an issue that I it's not really too much of an issue I took with the
Yeah,
movie.
no. I agree, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's just an amazing blend of music, pictures, and dialogue, and creates this really really fantastic illusion. And so I think I'll start by saying, we need to separate art from artist. But
Mm,
I think I've made it a bit clear that we don't like Woody.
no.
Yeah, that's it for that part.
Well, we talked about the romantic feel of the film. I think the score really contributes to that. I mean, just setting it in Paris and this time, the 1920s, which I am like a bit familiar with. I've watched people. I haven't read A Movable Feast, which is Hemingway's. It's his book on this kind of era and all the artists that lived in Paris because after World War One, the economy of Europe, it was just a lot cheaper to live in Europe than it was in America. And all the artists, just kind of James Joyce and all these writers, Hemingway, Fitzgerald, which we see in the film briefly, they just I don't know, they coalesced in this one location, which is really cool. There's all this creative production. So Woody, not Woody Allen, Owen Wilson. What's his character's name?
Gil Pender.
Gil, yeah. Oh, Jill. Is it Jill or Gil?
Gil, Jill. I think it was Gil.
Gil, yeah. So you can see why Gil Pender would want to go back and live in this time, and I think they really capture the energy that. Well, I personally wasn't there, so I don't know, but the energy that was present, in this era, and yeah, I don't know. I think that's the main thing the film succeeds at.
It kind of goes into my first note about about the romanticization, and like
That's it.
all the elements that went into it, like because it's more than just the sets and the music, which is a massive part of it. But like the lighting is stunning. That at the at night, so it's always soft. It's never there's never any like there's even indoors or any like illuminating anything at night. There's never anything too harsh. The coloring of the movie, like
Mm.
it's very obvious that this isn't the actual it's been filtered and treated and such. But I think it's the coloring of the movie is stunning, and like I really feel like this movie is like the primary culprit of like modern Paris syndrome, due to how heavily like
Mm.
romanticizes the place.
Yeah, I mean Paris is that today. I guess it's still thought of in a romantic light. I guess
Mm.
probably more than anywhere. This film, one of the trivia was this was I think his biggest budget. It grossed the most amount of money, but he was waiting for a big enough budget for it to do this, and so we could do this properly. And it's I mean it's pretty stacked cast, and I guess that money goes into the sets and the lighting and everything, as you said. I mean, it's like it's kind of seamless, especially with the time travel as well, which because like usually time travel is like this. Like usually time travel movies, the plot revolves around the mechanisms of the time travel, and here it's just kind of like it's not about that. It's simple. He just he gets into a car and travels to this time, and like the transitions between just everyday current Paris or Paris at the time, 2011, I guess,
10, 11.
and the 1920s. It just I guess because it's just it shows him like getting him in the car and he's out of the car, which is I guess a effective method of like not having to I don't know like change the buildings or something. I don't know like do
Yeah.
some effects or something to make the time travel seem tangible. So
Even in like his first transition back, like when he leaves that bar with when he leaves the bar from Hemingway, and then he tries to go back into it, and it's just a laundry machine, like a laundry
yeah, yeah,
place, and like I'm pretty sure like I think there might have actually been a cut, but like as the accident walks down and comes back, I think there might not have been a cut, and like it's just. Oh no, sorry, they probably would. It was right? Yeah, but regardless, that was also seamless to go with your point.
Yeah, absolutely. The film does a great job of that.
And like something that we've talked about before. I don't think we've talked about on the show, but like when it comes to sciencey type shit, you know, in a movie, yeah, it feels like you can go one or two ways of either explaining it in depth and trying to make it realistic, or not explaining it at all, and like you can't have this middle ground because then it feels unfulfilled in either way. And this movie choosing to just take it in stride is the best option it could have ever had. And whether because it never even, you know, was it all just fantasy? Was it just fever dream, or it was actual time travel? We never really know. And I think the
Right,
fact
right.
that there is no, you know, there is no hint at either or that it could be something else. I think is best for the movie.
Right, because when I think about this movie, I tend to forget that it's actually a time travel movie, you know, and I don't think Woody Allen is interested in, yeah, in making that kind of um, film. I think this is kind of very similar to other films I've seen of his, where it's just, you know, pure dialogue, pretty much. Like most of the driving force of the film is dialogue, and I think it's a very funny film at times, especially in
Mm.
the modern day parts where you have the dynamics between Inez and Rachel McAdams' character, and Mark Paul played by Michael Sheen, and the whole group, where it's obvious that uh, she has more chemistry with him and likes him more, and she's just kind of always like shrugging him off, I guess, and like you can tell that they're not a fit, as the movie suggests. I love the performance of Paul. He's this what do they describe him
Pretentious
as?
wanker.
Yeah, pedantic character. Yeah, pretentious wanker. That works. He plays it so well, man.
Mm.
His performance is so memorable in this film, and they actually those two began an off-screen relationship. I think after the film, or before, I don't know, around the film, which is I guess adds a layer to that. Like she has more chemistry with him than she does with Owen Wilson, I suppose, but which really works for the film. But like the scenes where they're like being tourists and he's like butting in on the tour guide, or he's over explaining different Parisian artifacts, is just it's really funny. Like Owen Wilson's reactions to that, he's just like, "Oh, dude, shut up!" Fuck this guy. He's constantly sick of it.
I love like the irony in like when he's criticizing that golden age thinking, when he's criticizing like Owen Wilson's book idea, like while it's happening, like
Yeah,
his wife Carol is like taking pictures of Versailles, wherever they are, and like she's capturing this like kind of this place that was built 400 years ago, and she's trying to capture that moment in time. And when you try and capture that, you're kind of capturing the memory of
mm.
what it is there. So like, isn't that kind of feeding into the golden age thinking and stuff? And like, I think there's like this kind of like latent hypocrisy and irony in like all the characters. I think it really adds something to the film.
No, yeah, that's really good. I
Thanks.
guess. Oh, uh, you go.
Oh no. Sorry, I was saying thanks to you saying
I
that was
thought
really
you said
good.
I guess. Oh,
No,
sorry.
no,
I thought you both said the same thing.
no. Sorry.
Um, yeah, I guess. I mean, that is Paris. I guess. I mean, like this big. I mean, maybe not to that extent, but it's heavily based off a nostalgia for the past. I guess the beautiful architecture is kind of makes you want to be Gil Penta. Time travel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. It's a perfect. I can't really see this film set anywhere else. Um,
No. Yeah. Just like talking about like the elements of a movie, but like the typography is an art, and I think we've mentioned it a few times on like before on the show. But like this movie nails the font. Like I'm just
yeah.
I know it's such a small thing and such a weird
No,
thing, but
yeah, it definitely adds to it. Yeah.
it nails the font of like the opening cards. I don't know what else you call them.
Right, everything secret. Yeah.
We both mentioned the theme in our opening ideas.
Mm.
What was the main theme? Do you think? What did you mainly pull from it?
I don't know, like thinking this idea of thinking that the past was better when, you know, I guess every time has its struggles. Um, whether that be historical or personal. People look back in their lives, want to go back to a certain time, but turns out they had problems then. So I think that's kind of the main thrust of the film.
Yeah, I was like the like being in love with the fantasy is
Yeah.
yeah, it too clearly spells it out. But how the movie says, you don't let your obsessions overwhelm you, and find them in your life now, or, rather than seeking in the past, or whatever like pretentious shit that is. Like, I really liked it. It was on the
Yeah.
nose, but it wasn't too much of a issue for me um, with that, because sometimes I do need to be, I do need to spell it out a bit.
No, you're smart. That's okay. I mean, it doesn't try to well, I think it spells it out, but it doesn't. It's not like a moral condemnation or anything to like be romantic because he does end up staying in Paris, I guess. So I don't know. It's just kind of it's a very light-hearted film. It's not it's not trying to be a Bible or anything, a moral set of moral codes, but or something like that. But I think most of Alan's films are comedic and lighthearted, except when they have like moments of I don't know, characters being sad because someone broke up with someone or something. It's like, but usually it's kind of like they're screenplay comedies about people in relationships, that kind of thing.
Mm.
I think this film is that as well, and is maybe even like his most lighthearted film, which fits the subject matter. I think they're on this vacation and everything's just kind of up in the air, and yeah, no one seems to really care about anything. So it's a nice film. It's a chill film.
The franticness and like the wittiness of the script keeps you really engaged. Like the entire time, it just keeps you engrossed, and it makes the film really accessible. And like even for people that don't like romances, I'm a sucker for romances, so that wasn't really an issue for me. But I feel like I feel like if you were to put this in front of someone who's an action man or a purely drama man,
Hmm.
or like whatever they're into, if they find romance corny, cheesy, boring, whatever, I feel like 9 out of 10 times they'd still be able to watch this movie and pull some enjoyment from it, due to how briskly it's paced, and how because you said it's kind of funny, but I think it is like quite funny quite often.
Oh
um
yeah, yeah, for
and
sure.
yeah, and I think it makes this, you talked about this film being his biggest commercial success, and I think it's rather obvious why.
Yeah, I'd say there's a lot that people can get from the film. Just average like non people who don't watch as many films as we do, kind of I don't know, like normal people,
Yeah.
um, but yeah, I think it is one of his most probably his most accessible film, and it is very funny. I think Owen Wilson, I think he was initially wanting to get someone else, but after he didn't get that person, he specifically wrote the role for Wilson, and he's the perfect casting choice because like just his like bewilderment, like his lecture and just amazement and everything, and like the way he expresses shock is so funny in this film. It's like a constantly escalating sense of like, is this real? But it's not like over the top or anything. And it's like if you think of Owen Wilson, it's like it's the wow thing. It's like
It's you think of his comedies, but like not this type of comedy.
yeah, but you don't think of someone who's like over the top. He's just like this. He's this kind of relaxed guy, I guess. I don't know who he wanted, but I think this was like. a great role for Wilson, and yeah, the way he reacts in this film is just so funny to a lot of things.
Well, that's what I was gonna say earlier. Like Wilson feels like a if he feels like a hard person to put into a romance film, and it's like he feels like he'd be a difficult person to pair up in a romance film.
Right, that
But
makes sense. Yeah.
you know like this movie has like three love interests for him, and like I think with each one he has I think there's like some level of chemistry there, or there's some level of there's something there that you know can be seen. I think with Marion Cotillard, or however you say
Uh,
her name,
yeah.
I think it's most obvious. I think their chemistry was great. But yeah, that really surprised me how Wilson was able to work in a film like this.
Yeah, he's not the kind of guy I'd even think of to be in a Woody Allen film because like Woody Allen's films are usually very like overly kind of like intellectual and kind of like they've got this really fast speaking witty cadence, which is kind of like in terms of like if you're thinking of personas, it's kind of the opposite when you think of Owen Wilson, which is perfect because he's like he's this like observer in this world, so he's kind of just slowly taken aback by everything, which is great. But what did you think of like? Because I was familiar with some of the I guess historical figures in this film. I think the film, as I was saying, with Wilson's reactions, it works really well because like when you see the figures, you're also like you're watching Wilson add something to the film with his like um, his sense of shock. So, but like, what do you think of all these characters that we came across?
I thought it was really great, and like I really loved Adrian Brody as Salvador Dali. I thought he was hilarious. Um,
Oh yeah,
like I don't really know too much about these people, so I don't know how much of it is exaggerated. But like, you know, I love each of the personalities that we come across. I think Kathy Bates was awesome as that
oh
publisher
yeah,
or whatever she was.
Gertrude Stein, yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, and I love all the little quirks that they kind of had, and like how you can see how you can see each one had an impact on Wilson. And, like it's yeah, I really like the our kind of roster of historical figures and then that we get. Is that what you were asking, or did I just miss it completely?
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
No,
sorry.
okay,
That's a
yeah.
good. I should
No,
have
because like
responded.
I was like, is he asking something a bit more that I don't understand?
No,
Um,
oh, wait, you gonna say something?
yeah, I was just gonna say like on that, I think like Cotier is was a standout actor for me. Um,
Yeah, she's pretty great. Yeah.
yeah, is that how you felt too?
Well, yeah. I think as you said, like the most of the people you see are kind of these um famous artists of the 20 who their performances are probably very exaggerated, and we don't really get they're not um, main characters of the film or anything. We kind of see them in a few instances, but with Cotillard, or I don't know how you pronounce it, it's French people. I don't know, but she's she has a more integral role, and I think she plays more subtly. I guess you can see that she has something going on with Hemingway, Pablo, and him, and she's kind of thinking while she's talking all the time, and yeah, she was a standout, I think. Yeah.
I was going to talk about the Inez's mum and dad, and particularly
Oh
the dad. I
yeah.
thought he was rather funny, and his going to the private investigators and getting them to like tail Wilson, and like his whole like heart attack or whatever he has in the hotel, and like that scene was so stress inducing, like because like it's just before Wilson is about to go and give the earrings to what's the character's name in the film?
I couldn't remember. Yeah, but
Adriana,
Adriana.
I think. I'm pretty sure it's Adrian. I think that we'll go with
We'll
that.
go with that.
We'll go with that. Yeah, it's you know, as he's about to bring those to her, and they all come busting into the room, and like they're about to call the police, and this, and the doctor's there, and
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that. It's frantic and it's suffocating, and like it's genuinely stress inducing, and but all in a funny way.
Mm,
I think that
mm.
was one of the better scenes in the film. Not better because I think all like most of the film's great, but like it was one of the best scenes in the film for me.
Rachel McAdams. I think she's a little. I saw this criticism of the film. Maybe she's a little, just mean, like too mean, like one dimensional in this film. But she definitely, I don't know. She plays the like role of ignoring Wilson's character, or just like not really caring about him really well. I think I can really feel that they're not a fit. That's I think one of the film's main like messages, I guess, to kind of I don't know, find your place or whatever. But you can feel the differences between them really well. There was that scene where the mother was like, they were in the store, and the mother was like, "Oh, why can't we get this $20,000 chair? You're like a successful Hollywood screenwriter, but that's like not enough because you might want to move here." And it's like, it's just no one in the family likes him, like the dad and the mom and her even. They don't. They all kind of distrust him, which is really funny.
But
Uh,
it's something that Hemingway brings up. You know, like how like after like his after Gil's given his book to the publisher, and then like it turned out that Hemingway read the first few chapters, and he's like, I don't believe that your character would be that ignorant that he doesn't realize that that his wife's having an affair. You know, and
mm,
like that's directly referring to Gil and McAdam
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
Shane. So like while it is a bit mean and while she is like too mean and like while they all do hate him a bit too much, his like blind kind of ignorance is kind of like they acknowledge it. I guess so like that. That's what made that okay for me.
Right. Yeah. I guess that's the message in itself, that he was kind of too lost in the past to kind of realize that he wasn't paying attention to his relationships, his life. I guess that's interesting.
Because I have a note about here about Hiddleston and like I was like it was just to build on what I said last week about him not adding much. I think it was
Oh yeah,
okay as Fitzgerald. Fitz Fitz.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
That's
Fitzgerald.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like, oh, hold on, shit. Um, but I do want to retract my comments as well because I was having a look at Hiddleston's page and then I saw he did High Rise and Crimson Peak, which I forgot about, and he's pretty great at that. So he is a decent actor. I'll say that,
Okay.
but
He has your valid approval.
yeah,
Nice.
but often he's just me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They could have. Okay. There's a subplot in the film between him and Zelda Fitzgerald. Two kind of infamous. No, I mean famous. Figures who like. It's rumored that Zelda inspired Daisy in the Great Gatsby. I think is the idea a bit, and that she's kind of in the film, she's kind of, and in real life she's kind of a mess, I guess. And um, I think like he really loved her. She didn't think he loved him. She committed suicide or something. And I think, yeah, there's a scene in the film where I think she's gonna jump in the river or something. And it's a really light-hearted film. I don't think the emotional impact of that wasn't really uh, felt, I guess, or it wasn't really explored that too much. It was kind of played for laughs, I guess, a bit. But Hiddleston was okay. I think Hemingway was, what's the guy's name? Just plays Hemingway. I don't know, but I think he was definitely
yeah,
the
no.
more memorable of the two.
I think Hemingway had a bigger part though as well. And we see
Yeah, I
we
guess so.
see
Yeah, yeah,
Fitzgerald very briefly.
that is true. How's Hiddleston like you though? Is he good in liking?
He's fine.
He's fine.
It's fine. His best version of Loki was Avengers Loki, but then after that, yeah, he's average.
Just like doing the same thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's doing the
I
same
see
thing.
that.
It's fine, but
It's not great. Yeah.
yeah,
Now you've been infected by this idea. Now I'm gonna get infected by
yeah,
the
yeah.
idea. It's gonna
It'll
skew
slowly
my
spread around the
pessimism.
world.
Yeah. Trivia. Oh, I did have one more piece of trivia. How about that? Due to Woody Allen's habit of only giving actors the script pages concerning the characters, Tom Hiddleston was unaware of the film's time travel storyline until he met Owen Wilson on set and asked him why he wasn't wearing period accurate clothing like the rest of the cast. And as an extension of that, I think Owen Wilson like first met him in Paris as well, and so no one really knew much about this. Woody Allen just kind of wrote up to people and got them to come to France, and then told him about everything, filled him in. I think Tom Hiddleston even just got like a one sentence like letter from Woody Allen, like, "Hi, I'm making a film in Paris and would like you to be in it." And Tom Hiddleston put that on his wall. Uh, okay, Jaden, what's your final verdict, as Zach would say, on Midnight in Paris?
It's a 9 out of 10 for me.
A 9 out of 10, right?
9 out of 10. Yeah, big number.
Big number.
Big number. I really loved it. Like absolutely adored it from opening to closed. I don't know. It's kind of everything I love. I'm a bit of a Francophile. I listen to quite a bit of French music
French
and
rap, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So I honestly I already have a bit of a unhealthy obsession with France. So like this movie did nothing to aid that. So I mean, like, it's 9 out of 10 is what I was trying to say. So yeah.
Damn. Nice.
What about
Glad you loved it so much. Thank you, Andy, for the suggestion.
yeah, Andy, what's your verdict for
What's
this
your
one?
verdict, Andy? 6 out of 10.
8 out of 10. Okay.
Oh yeah, I think I agree with most of your points. I think we agreed on most. I probably like it a little less than you do. I guess I've seen it before as well, so that affects it. But I don't know. I think it's pretty great film. Very very fun film. So I think anyone could check it out as well. I mean, depending on not if you want to support Woody Allen by watching his films, but
Before I forget, we actually have we have a review for this film.
do we? From
Yeah.
who? Who's this review? Mysterious
We
reviewer.
it's from this Sir Kaz.
Oh, we've had
Actually
him
had
on the
a
show once. That was
yeah. I checked out
interesting.
Sir Kaz's page. He's got does gaming content. It's pretty sick.
Hmm.
He says new listener here, which I mean he's not because he's been on the show.
No.
Love the show and will miss the amazingly attractive and talented co-host this episode.
Yeah, okay.
It's not that important. He says, I quite enjoyed Midnight in Paris. It feels stylistically, very intentionally, obviously he adds in brackets, like a film from another era. Beginning with the opening credits and intro to this idealized portrayal of Paris, it's got plenty of fun performances, emphasized by extended scenes which allow the actors to really inhabit their roles. I think my potential amusement was lessened by the fact that I had no idea who any of the historical characters were outside of Picasso. That kind of goes into what you were saying earlier about about all those ones. But he can say that he was expecting a low key prequel either. Oh yeah, because it's time travel with Hiddleston as well. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Good connection. So
Yeah.
guys,
He says 117.5 out of 180. So if we're going from
well, okay, we got to divide
if we're going
100
from the
by
vertical,
180.
if we're going from the vertical, his thumbs up is like
Oh, he's doing that.
yeah,
Okay.
he's doing like the thumb up angle. So it's like
Yeah,
yeah, it's
that's right.
it's like a 6 out of 10, I think. A bit less.
6 or 7?
I don't know.
6.
No,
Yeah,
it's
you're
not
right.
7. Yeah, yeah. 117.5 out of 180 though, just to re-emphasize how absurd his score
How
is.
specific we're getting. Yeah.
0.5, Jesus Christ, that's a 300. No, hold on, that's a 360 point scale. That's massive. All right, heading into news chat now. All right, I think we'll open up the discussion with the Many Saints of Newark trailer. Um,
Oh yeah,
did you actually
yeah.
watch that,
Let's
Liam?
have a just. Yeah, I did
All right, good.
multiple
Yeah.
times. Yes,
All right, good.
I'm sure
Um,
you didn't, right?
no, because I've only seen the first season of Sopranos. But
Right.
you're kind of like our resident expert. So,
I am now. Yes.
yes.
I don't think the film. I think you can watch the film without watching The Sopranos. I think because I think what's happening in the film is, I don't think too much is revealed in the show, so that it would ruin the film, or vice versa, I guess. But yeah, I think so. We have Michael Gandolfini as a young Tony. There are a lot of reports about him studying his dad's little tics and facial mechanisms, and trying to really inhabit the Tony's character as a teenager, I guess, as a kid. And he did it. I mean, the trailer shows it really well. He's got these little moments, like facial expressions, that just perfectly kind of resemble his dad. And yeah, I mean, I'm excited for this film anyway, because I'm Sopranos nut. But I think it's a good direction. This going through this kind of mentor figure, uh, having this kind of mentor figure role. I don't know. I hope it doesn't try to be too much of a, Joker type thing, like origin story, how he became evil. But hopefully it conveys that, there are parts of his personality that were always there or something. I don't want to see like a 180 from good guy to badass Tony Soprano or anything like that. But no, I mean, I don't want to talk about it for too long. But I'm excited for the film. I think the outside of the trailer was the color grading, the tone was the look of the film wasn't great, but
Yeah, because I saw like the first 2 seconds, and like it's a very bluish hue. Is it? Is it
yeah,
not? Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and there's yellows and greens that are just very very tonally off, very totally weird. But I don't know. I will be there first week anyway, so I'm giving them money anyway. So let's.
Do we know when that's coming out? I think we've mentioned it before on the show.
Well, it's definitely. They said fall. So
Fall.
I get. What are these Americans talking about?
That's our springtime.
Okay.
So sometime between September and October. Watch out for it, Australian audience.
The end of this year is going to be great. There's so much stuff coming out, movies and TV shows.
Yeah.
We're gonna get Dune and this and that.
Wasn't Doom pushed back again? No, it's still this year though, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah, December. Yeah, or
Okay.
November.
Well, we got Wes Anderson's new film with Tilda Swinton. We don't really know much other than that it's with Tilda Swinton. She's the first announced cast member, I believe. But I think it's going to start. I think they're starting production before the French Dispatch even gets its wide release, which is an interesting little point. Does Wes and Tilda Swinton do anything for you?
Sure. I mean, I'll see it. Was his last film 2017 Grand Budapest, or was there something? Oh no,
Nah,
Isle of Dogs, right?
Yeah.
So
And then French Dispatch is meant to come out.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So still, I thought there was like a long break there somewhere, but oh, that's cool. We're gonna get 2 new Wes Anderson films. I mean, he's one of the big, you know, great directors who still have a lot of creative control and everything. So I'll support Wes whenever.
There's a Fast and Furious spin-off coming out. Just when you thought the family was finished, it's back. It's going to be about is it Charlie's Theron? Is it Theron?
Oh, how do you pronounce it?
Charlie's
Charlie's Theron.
Theron. Yeah. Anyway, it's about her character, according to Vin Diesel. So
Oh, really? Oh.
Look out for that. Another Fast movie. Tarantino's book dropped this week.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, novelization of Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
And now, like in the past, he said that like it's not so much an adaptation as it is a complete retelling, right? That's what he said? Yeah. Or something along those lines.
He said something along those lines. Yeah.
Yeah, because he wanted to specify that this wasn't like other movie to book transcripts, whatever you call it.
Right. I think Well, I saw some people just talking about it, giving screenshots and stuff. I think it goes into Manson and all the characters' histories a bit more, but it's also about films of that era and goes in the kind of history of different films. So I think it's just I think some people will really love it, some people will be really turned off by it, kind of thing. It seems a bit indulgent, but some people really love all those references and everything. But
I mean,
yeah,
Tarantino and Indulgent, hand in hand.
yeah, same thing.
Yeah. And lastly, we've got a Guy Ritchie's new film already. Is considering that Wrath of Man just dropped like a month or two ago, however long.
Hmm.
It's coming out next year in January, so very soon, like what, 6 months away. It's called Five Eyes. And it's about an MI6 and CIA team up to stop an arms sale. Stars Jason Statham again, which is great. And it also features Aubrey Plaza, Josh Hartnett. Is Josh Hartnett the Transformers guy?
Transformers guy.
You know the military dude that's in like the first like three Transformers and fifth one as well, I think.
I don't know. He was in Rather Man. He was in this movie called O. It's a teenage high school version of Othello that we watched in literature in high school.
It also stars Carrie Elwes and Hugh Grant. So watch out for that one in January next year.
Oh, January. Oh,
Uh,
okay. Damn.
in January, very soon. Now we go to our highlight of the week, but so I have no highlight because I've watched literally nothing this week, and our guest isn't here, so this will be a rather short one.
No,
Liam, what's your
I'll just talk for an hour about my.
yeah. Liam, what's your highlight of the week?
I watched this social uh social network documentary on Fincher, behind the scenes documentary of Fincher making the social network. It's very cool. It was very cool. It's cool how it was really late and I just like found this randomly in like YouTube, And I was like,
Mm,
oh, I'll watch 5 minutes and then put in my watch later. But it was just so interesting to watch Fincher behind the camera, watch his directional style. Directors, his directorial method or whatever. The way he translates the scripts into the actors' reactions. Like you see him in every scene with Jesse or with Andy,
Andrew
Andrew,
Garfield.
Andrew. Yeah, basically telling them like this. Okay, this is what this line means. This is what this sentence means. So this is what you're going for with this reaction. And it's all like they're communicating on this level, which is like very, uh, you know, very intelligent, and they're like, um, he's trying to convey to them all the little things that you're trying to convey, that you as an actor are trying to convey in a scene with this script. And you really see his perfectionist side. He wants, and you appreciate it all the more because you see like instances of cuts that are like just not cuts that didn't make the film, but cuts I guess were just deleted because they weren't, like, you see bad versions of cuts that were of scenes that were in the film because there's a scene where an actor isn't getting the right kind of feel in his tone, or like he's not conveying the proper emotion, and then you see Fincher like redirect him in this really intelligent and interesting way, and then you see, oh wow, that is why that moment works in the film, and this is what's happening in this scene. And it's really cool, especially if you love The Social Network. It talks about what that film is really about: friendships and jealousy and kind of all these conflicting factors. The kind of story that is as old as time, I guess. It's kind of elements of Citizen Kane and that kind of thing. So I don't know. It was really engaging, really interesting. It was made by David Pryor as well, who he did a lot of behind the scenes documentaries like this. He's done other Fincher projects. I think he did Fight Club. He did Inside Llewyn Davis, and he recently last year he did The Empty Man, directed his own uh, director feature debut, which I really loved. So yeah, I loved it.
No, was it just Jesse Eisenberg, or was it all the actors weren't allowed to meet their real life counterparts until they were done with the film?
Finally, I don't think I went into that, but that's cool though. I didn't know that was a thing. But I think Andrew talks about that, like trying to respect the people, not trying to convey these people in a negative light. I don't know if he communicated with the co-founder of Facebook. I forget. How do I forget his name? I don't know. But,
Yeah, I feel bad because like when I watched that movie, I was like, I'm gonna make sure I remember your name instead of just Luck, and it's dead out of my mind.
Yeah, because he was a big help, and yeah.
It'll come to us later.
Eduardo.
Ah, yeah. Well, now's a part of the show where we hand it over to you, I think is what Zach says. So last week we asked you, what is your favorite music video? We got another comment from Sir Kaz, trying to milk our success. It says, despite Jaden's past admiration for it in reference to Tenet on Letterboxd, the music video that I think has stuck with me most after many hours of watching Channel V back in the day is Coldplay's The Scientist. Shooting anything at a super high frame rate and reversing it is dope, then centering it around a car crash is even cooler. Visually, that is. Yeah, that's fair. Wear your seatbelt, kids, he adds at the end. Thanks for your comments, Kaz.
What is Channel V?
Channel V is an Australian music channel. It's it just just plays music.
A TV channel? Like,
yeah.
okay.
It's
I've
just
actually
music
never
videos
heard
all
of it.
day. No, it's on Foxtel. I don't think it's on free to air TV. Luke wrote into us and said the music video to Thriller has got to be one of the best of all time. It's a little creepy. The dance is iconic and great. Plus, the song is pretty good as well. Now I confronted Luke about this answer last night at dinner, and we agreed it's a bit of a cop out. And he said what else? And I said, I don't know, perhaps Take on Me by Aha would be a better answer and more akin to Spooky's like type of music. And he agreed.
Oh, yeah.
So there you go. We're not endorsing Michael Jackson's music, and we can't have two sex pests in one show. It's too
One
much.
is enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Andy wrote into us, our meant to be guest host for the day. He says, my favorite music video is Eye of the Spider. It's a parodied Eye of the Tiger sung by Survivor, but it's about Minecraft. Now, I'm not sure if this is ironic or if there's any, so we'll just treat it as it's real. He says, truly my favorite music video in quotation marks, despite the lack of vocal techniques from the boy singing the song. I found it to be very informative and ideally influential. My favorite part of the music video was the green screen. I found it to be astonishing. Very good use of imagination from the boy with his dance moves and the content going on with the background. It certainly will impress fans of Minecraft. I certainly enjoyed it myself, even though I've never played Minecraft before in my entire life. And then he even leaves a link to the video. If you want to check out the video, you can go to Andy's comment instead of having to type that in.
Eye of the Spider.
Eye of the Spider.
I remember diamond mining, like karate, kung fu fighting, but they say diamond mining.
Oh, yeah.
That was
TNT will always be the best Minecraft parody.
TNT. What was that?
Yeah, it's meant to be like Dynamite by Ted Cruz.
Right. I used to like that song. Yeah.
Which one, the Minecraft parody or the real one?
The real one.
Okay. Yeah. Liam, what's your favorite music video?
I think my favorite music video is Daydreaming, Radiohead. I don't know if this one was directed by PTA, your boy Paul Thomas Anderson. It might have been. He's directed a few Radiohead videos, but it's just Tom York walking through different doors at first, and he's walking through all these different places. As it progresses, he kind of gets more crazy, and he goes different. Oh, he doesn't go too many landscapes, but like he goes to this like mountain place, and it's just really, it's like really seamless, like really impressive just how you follow him the whole time. It's like, it's like Monsters Inc. He's like going through different doors. It's cool, it's fun.
I love that.
Yeah, I love Radiohead anyway, and that song. I don't know. I love when a music video really fits the feel of the song, and that is definitely how I feel about that. So yeah, I mean, there are definitely other Radiohead music videos which are more iconic and super great. No Surprises with just Tom York and the he's like in a glass uh dome kind of thing, and there's just water filling up, and he's drowning, suffocating on water. And what's the one with the fake plastic trees is great as well. So I love Radiohead's the music videos. They're pretty dope. What about you, Jaden?
Well, I have I have quite a bit shortlist, quite a big, quite a big shortlist of potential answers here, and because there's so many different kinds of music videos, because like you kind of got like your expressionistic, and then you got like your storytelling, then you got your just visual based, and then just your kind of unrelated to the song, but visually fitting or type of like thing. So music videos are great. I think they're a real art, and I think they're often overlooked. Should I just blaze through them all?
Sure.
Sure.
I'm willing to hear them.
All right. Pleader by Old J is great. Hurts Like Heaven by Coldplay, also awesome. Notion by Atto, fantastic. Come Near Me by Massive Attack. Probably would have been my answer if I had to pick one. Voodoo in My Blood, also by Massive Attack, fantastic. That's got Rosamund Pike in it. Great, check it out. Trouble by Kano. It's really really emotionally impactful, that one. Sam Fender, Saturday, just a great feeling. Borders by Sam Fender, also brilliant. Nu by Clara Luciani is a brilliant French one if you want to check out a bit of French music. The Drive by Everyone You Know, really cool. Like one take and just goes around a car, and it's really sick. Is it one take? I can't recall, but it's really sick. The Races by Sports Team, really fun. Citizens of Tomorrow by Tokyo Police Club. I've got a lot of nostalgia wrapped up in that one, but it's also just a banging music video. Scenery by Ashmute, really epic. Just nice shots with strong film grain. And Gold by Eden, also very epic. And there's a shit ton that I left off there as well, but there's my little low down.
There's a lot of music. I don't know half this. I don't know most of those people, but that's cool.
I left off that list anything I've mentioned on the show in the past, not to be repetitive. So yeah. Well,
oh right, so it's more extensive.
There's plenty more. Well, I think that wraps up our show, right? There's not much else, right? Nothing else.
Yeah, I think that does it.
All right.
Except
Liam, what are we watching next week?
I know you gonna do the question next week.
I said at the start, right?
Right. Do we do it at the end as well?
Yeah. To remind you, the questions are what movie have you seen the most? In case I forgot at the start.
Cool.
But yeah, Liam, what are we watching?
Next week we're sucking up to big old Disney again.
The Big D.
As the Big D. And we're doing the new Pixar film on Disney Plus, Luca. Check that one out if you want to watch some fish boys. Have fun in Italy.
It's kind of ominous. Do you want to do the outro? Yeah, I want you to do the outro because I'm scared of the outro.
Okay, I'll do the outro. Thank you for watching another episode of Cinema Effect. This has been episode 65, Midnight in Paris. We had a fun one-on-one discussion, me and Jaden. Thanks for listening, and thanks for all the comments and the support, and we'll see you next time. Bye.